Hi, Dougie Burt from Doug Burt's Tackle World, here for the Easter fish report for the estuaries and the beach over the next few days for Easter, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 2021. Well, it's definitely not the best of weather. As we know, it's raining outside off and on. It's about to pour down the next couple of days. The wind's blowing 20 knots, going to get up to around 30 or 40 by about Monday. So it's not the best of reports. Hopefully it will change. Maybe the wind will drop back a little bit. What about the rain? Maybe the rain will skip past the coastline. You don't know if these lows that are around, they sort of change direction, they change ferocity as well. But we'll just wait and see over the next couple of days for our Easter break. But at this stage, I would probably just concentrate on fishing around the seaway, jumping pin bar on the inside, because there's still dirty water coming out of all the rivers at the moment from the big rains we had last week. And unless you're sort of maybe trying to get the odd barra or the odd jack in the canals or up the rivers, your concentration for fishing is going to be in the broadwater, in the jumping pin area towards the bar and the seaway, okay, where the water's a little bit clearer. So in the seaway, the last couple of days, there's been a few dew caught, there's been a few silver mangrove jacks, they've all been pushed out to the seaway. There's been trevally, there's been tailor, there's been even tuna in the seaway, and the birds are following the bait in and pushing the tuna up into the seaway. And up at jumping pin, you'll probably find a similar scenario at the end of Crusoe Island there, where the bait sort of hoards up against the last of the running tide, clean water versus the dirty, or the bait sits on that edge, and there'll be tailor there, there'll be trevally there, maybe even a little tuna inside the bar there at times. Just be careful of the bars though, because the swell is going to increase over the weekend, and with that wind, it's going to be a bit ugly once the tide starts running out. But yeah, so up around the jump pin area, I'll be casting metals. Cast metals around that sort of 15 to 40 gram size, and at wherever the birds are working, and that's how you'll catch your tail spinning lures. I'll be definitely doing some whiting fishing and casting like surface type lures, like this little fellow here. You can use those around the broadwater as well. They're very, very good. They're Japanese lure, ebi panic, like a prawn with the assist hooks at the back, and they hook up the whiting really well. Yeah, working out the sandbars like around Goldbank, around the bedroom area and Tipless Channel. That's where all the whiting will be hanging out at the moment. At the back of Clingerbank's a good spot as well, up around the jumping pin area there. But it has to be on the last hour of the run out, high tide, sorry, and the first hour of the run out. That's when the water's going to be clear, and that's when the fish are going to be on the chew in that area. Once it gets dirty, they'll be somewhere, but not where we can see them. Flatties, a few flatties around Tipless Channel there as well. There might be odd ones around Crusoe Island and also along Clingerbank as well. So try for flatties, but again, it has to be a high tide, which is we all know is in the morning, sort of mid-morning at the moment, around 10 o'clock. And once that tide starts running out, it'll be very, very dirty very, very quickly. So yeah, try around that time of the day. Back down this way, Pimpamar area, plenty of crabs in the Pimpamar, also around Jag as well. In the Coomera, north and south arm of Coombe River, plenty of crabs. So with all of that run out, dirty water coming out, pushing all the flushing all the crabs out, the muddies, get your pots ready. We need something like this, and that's what I was using the other day in that video to catch all those muddies. They work fine. It's up to you if you want to spend a lot of money on crab pots, but I'm always worried about people stealing my crab pots, let alone checking them. It's even bad enough. But so I use a bit cheaper ones, and I find I've got dear ones too. I find the catch rate is no different. It's like less than 10% difference, but the pots are triple price dearer. Up to you, but I don't use dearer pots for many reasons. But lots of crabs around muddies, especially in the deeper holes of the rivers, and we get little creeks draining off into the river. That's where you want to have your pots. Okay. Back down towards the seaway, definitely I'll probably be there maybe tomorrow morning having the fish early. That sort of the run out tide was going to be just before daylight, unfortunately, but come sort of Monday morning in that rain, right tide, terrible weather, but you want that the run out tide. Probably tomorrow afternoon is not a bad tide. You've got low tide around about sort of 5 o'clock in the seaway, 4:30, so you get that last hour of the run out, and just fish that last hour with a lot of live baits for jewies up against the north wall, live bait for jacks as well. And or you can use really light gear and just hot little lures on the bottom I think we talked about this little fella last week. You sort of run that on about 4 kilo line or 3 kilo line or 10-pound braid, and they just smack it. So casting it up into the wall and just hopping it back, or just drifting down through the seaway, casting up current, letting it come down the current, and just hopping it really slowly. They are incredible. So that's a little bottom magic lure. Okay, if you can see that. There's a range of colours. Another thing that's been, we sell lots of and people tend to use a lot these days, the cranker crabs. And the cranker crabs are really good in this sort of semi-dirty water around the canal entrances and around the seaway, around the rocks as well. You just got to be careful not getting caught in the bottom because they're expensive. But that's the little cranker crab, okay? Again, using light line. There is a bigger fella, it's a bit heavier. You can run that on sort of up to about 15-pound braid or 10-pound braid. You can see that little fella. They work really well. But definitely, even small plastics, just work the bottom really slowly, timid, and I reckon you'll get probably squire in the seaway at the moment as well, a small snapper, and maybe sweet lip as well, both the grassy sweet lips and the yellow sweet lips. Give them a go as well. Okay, whiting, they've all been, well, a lot of them have been flushed out in the Rank River the last sort of week before that rain, so definitely worth trying for whiting around the banks, sort of anywhere from in front of the trawlers near Versace, all the way down to Crab Island. Okay, so the whole area of all those banks on the edge of the channels, again, like I said before, cast sort of these sort of things here, little surface lures, cast them across the current, don't cast them up or down, across the current, slightly up, and just work it back and just keep moving it, pause for a sec, move it, and the whiting, like a pack of wolves, they're very aggressive. They're good size, and it's great fun to see a whiting smash a lure on the surface. And anywhere from water from 12 inches deep or 30 centimetres up to about 1.5 metres. They'll come out of the deep in 1.5 metres and attack that, okay? So that's a go on the run out tide preferably, or some spots are running, but I don't run out tide. It's probably about it for the broad water. Might be a few sand crabs around the Western Channel from Sovereign Island all the way up through Bigger Creek. Might be worth a go, but overnight would be best for your crabs. Other areas, Coomba Lakes, Saltwater Creek, and like I said earlier, around Santa Barbara, around the Coomba River is a good area as well. On the beaches, the sand pumping jetty's been fishing quite well for whiting, because as I said, a lot of those whiting being pushed out of the rivers, they're in the broad water, and there's a few on the beach as well. So it's going to be too rough to fish off the beach, I dare say, unless you can find a deep hole that's holding fish where you can fish it in that rough weather. Otherwise, the sand pumping jetty might be worth a go down the spit, using worms or yabbies for bait, and fish the inshore gutter just behind the surf break on the shoreline. Okay. Down further south, I haven't heard anything on the beaches down south. I dare say that water that's coming out of the Tweed is still a bit dirty. You might get some fish on the north side of the Tweed or further down, maybe towards Brunswick Way, and fish that area. Most of the current on the beaches is running south at the moment. So it does change around. That depends on the rip and the conditions. That's probably about it for estuary and beach at the moment, and just got to get over this weather. The next weekend though, guys, looks really good. Next weekend's weather looks not too bad at this stage, but it changes all the time. Depends on that low system and what rain we get over the next few days as to the water clarity. Until then, see you next week. It's Doug Burt for Doug Burt's Tackle World. P.S. We are open all Easter, just to let you know that. Thank you.